I will be discussing concussions in women's soccer. Women's soccer is becoming more and more popular over the years. As the athletes are training harder and becoming faster and stronger, there is an increased risk when it comes to concussions. John Comstock, an epidemiologist who studies sports injuries, informs the public that girls have a higher concussion rate in sports like basketball and soccer. These two sports have the same rules, same equipment, and usually same facilities in both genders. A 2015 study published in JAMA Pediatrics recorded data from high school soccer teams and found it was 1.5 times more common for girls to get a concussion compared to boys. This explanation behind the data is unknown, although a common reason people think this to be true is girls tend to report concussions more than boys do. Recovering from a concussion tends to be different with gender, as women tend to take longer to heal than men. Reasoning behind this could play a part on hormones, because gender differences in concussion seems to take place around puberty, which is where hormone levels change. Researchers at the University of Rochester have found that mild traumatic brain injuries heal less quickly when sustained during certain phases of the menstrual cycle. Another explanation could be the difference in neck strength, as women tend to have less neck muscle, which proposes less stability with the head after a hit, presenting more sloshing as the brain shifts in the skull. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, is a neurodegenerative condition perhaps linked to concussions. Some of the U.S. women's national soccer team, including Brandon Chastain, Abby Wambach, have agreed to donating their brains after they die, continuing the research in CTE. From 2006 to 2016, it was reported that 51% of concussions were from player-to-player contact, compared to only 29% from contact with the ball. To help reduce concussion in women's soccer teams, are taking the precaution by instituting a voluntarily baseline concussion testing program before each season in the fall. This tests cognitive balance and gives you a rating, so if there is an injury during season, they know what the base was and the risk going forward. Over the last few years, the U.S. Soccer Federation has instituted a protocols including no heading the ball in games until the age of 13, or perhaps headgear being required for physical play. Girls with certain body types may be more prone to a concussion with a longer, thinner neck, and are even recommended to perform neck strengthening exercises if they decide to play at a collegiate level. Playing through a concussion is also common, and heading the ball is expected by a soccer coach, making game more prone to having further concussions. As the number of girls playing high school soccer has grown by 236%, according to the National Federation of State High School Soccer Associations. This has led to athletes training playing year-round, becoming more competitive. This will increase the likelihood of an injury. Soccer has been viewed as a safer alternative to football or lacrosse, but it trails football for the highest number of concussions on a Long Island high school. Heading the ball is not a concerning part of soccer, as you can put more force on the ball than the ball puts on you, and there's no energy transfer into the brain. The dangerous part are the other aspects, like getting hit in the face, head-to-head with another player, or getting punched in the head by a goalkeeper when they try to make a save. A study published in the American Academy of Pediatrics found that the number of ER visits for concussions by soccer players under the age of 19 has climbed to 1,600% between 1990 to 2014. Brianna Scurry, a goalkeeper for the U.S. gold medal winning Olympic teams in the 1996 to 2004, wants players who are suspected of suffering a head injury removed from the field immediately for an evaluation, as this rule should be followed throughout all levels of play, including the World Cup. As Brianna's soccer career ended in 2010 because of a concussion, she speaks to youth soccer players of the dangers of concussions. The difficulty for this rule to be placed is some high schools only have one athletic trainer. In some states where football and soccer are both in the fall, it is common for them to attend the football game instead of a soccer game. A prime example of tough play, and probably what not to do, is when Abby Wambach busted her head open during a World Cup qualifier game against Mexico in 2010. There was blood gushing from her forehead, but instead of sitting out, Wambach had her face stable on the field and then kept playing. Here's the video.